going on, guys? American Preacher here. Proverbs Chapter 9. And finishing up with Chipotle. So good. So I think it's fitting that we're reading Proverbs Chapter 9 today, and I was just at Fleet Farm talking with some guys about building Viking log cabins, longhouses. I'm reading the book The Eaters of the Dead, and just like seeing this guy's description of what he saw with the Northmen. Ivan Fadlan, it's a Muslim man. Norse architecture and carpentry is wonderful. And you know, the way that this chapter of Proverbs starts out, it makes you think of like an awesome carpenter builder. And one of the stories in that story where they enter Hrothgar's palace, like it's truly this wonder to behold, and to think about entering the house of wisdom. Like the same description that this Muslim man gives of this Viking great hall that had like several longhouses connected to it. It's just like wonderful. And I hope you get the same image when we read through this. And not just the building, but also the wisdom that is connected to the building. So, Proverbs chapter 9. Wisdom hath builded her house. She hath hewn out her 7 pillars. She hath killed her beast. She hath killed her beasts. She hath mingled her wine. She hath also furnished her table. So the 7 pillars, I think that's interesting. Why the perfect number, and it's an odd number. She hath hewn out her 7 pillars. Usually you hew out pillars of like marble or stone, but usually marble when you're building a house. Also too, if you can help me out by following my Instagram, checking out that post, and seeing my blueprints for potentially, God willing, what's the future of Von Weiss Castle Golf Resort, Hastings, Minnesota, hopefully, God willing. It could be anywhere, but yeah, the specific architectural design that I have, the vision for it, probably will not be matched by other people. I mean, other people can build it, they can take my idea, but really, like, I have what I would like it to be, and I know what I want it to be. So yeah, let's keep reading. So if you can do that for me, that'd be great. Like it, love it, share it, tell people about it. Because who wouldn't want to go to a Viking-themed castle golf resort and live in a longhouse, or Airbnb it, or even rent a property out there? Be sweet, super sweet. She hath killed her beasts, like she's getting ready for a feast. She hath mingled her wine, she hath also furnished her table. She hath sent forth her maidens, she crieth upon the highest places of the city. Whoso is simple, let him turn in hither. As for him that wanteth understanding, she saith to him, Come, eat of my bread and drink of the wine which I have mingled. Forsake the foolish, and live, and go in the way of understanding. He that reproveth a scorner getteth to himself shame, and he that rebuketh a wicked man getteth himself a blot. Reprove not a scorner, lest he hate thee. Rebuke a wise man, and he will love thee. Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase in learning. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. For by me thy days shall be multiplied, and the years of thy life shall be increased. If thou be wise, thou shalt be wise for thyself. But if thou scornest, thou alone shalt bear it. Wisdom is giving good counsel. Her place is very wonderful. It's perfectly built. It's a very attractive feast. It's like, going to Longhouse, like Longhorn. I'm traveling carpentry right now. Eventually I want to get to a place where I have a crew that's building these Viking-themed log cabins, going on site for future clients. and building them their Viking palace, basically, or Viking log cabin, wherever they have property. If you have a crew that can do it and do it well and do it within a good amount of time, one, you can make money, two, you can give a customer a great product, and three, building Viking log cabins is fun. It's something I enjoy and I would enjoy doing. And so yeah, it's kind of the business I want to be involved in the near future. I don't know if it's 2 or 3 or 4 years away. But yeah, if we can start stacking, buildings and then making money off of that, eventually that will segue right into Von Wees Castle Golf Resort, Viking themed resort in Hastings. So, looking for a crew. I just found Hunter at Fleet Farm here in Hastings. And if you're a good carpenter, electrician, plumber, like any of that, or just a great builder, potentially get in contact with me, subscribe to my YouTube channel, give me advice. I don't know everything. I know what I know, and that's enough for me for right now. You're always growing, you're always learning. If anybody tries to look down at you like you don't know as much as they do, one, that's arrogant. Two, repent and be humble. So yeah, hard work, humility, and a positive attitude will get you far in life. And don't give up on your dreams, and don't give up on what God has purposed for you, your ward. So, back to it. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. For by me thy days shall be multiplied, and the years of thy life shall be increased. If thou be wise, thou shalt be wise for thyself. But if thou scornest, thou alone shalt bear it. A foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing. So she's all, she's outward beauty. She's simple and knows very little. She doesn't have understanding. She doesn't have insight into cool things, like having insight into Norse culture, aka this book, and learning about the whole seashells being their money, right? Clamry or clowry, they're these green and purple shells that are really they look like treasures, right? And when the Norse were on their voyages going to probably different parts of the world, maybe even as far as China, which also used shells as a form of currency, the Ghanaian people, the kingdom of Ghana, also used those shells as currency. I wonder how many you'd have to give to somebody for a good meal and 3 beers. How many shells do you have to give out to have a good meal and a good time, And there's some other really funny things in that book about Muslim and Viking relations, just because it's culture, and some of it's kind of crude humor, but it's just funny. Some things are really hilarious when it comes to when cultures clash, and then you're forced to be friends with a Viking thane and his band of brothers going on the warpath. And, the guy's not that brave. I mean, he's brave enough, but he's not a warrior. So, that being said, right, wisdom gives you insight to things. The stupid and the foolish woman and the wicked woman doesn't have insight to basic things. She's really surface level. She's really stupid. I overheard some girls talking about really, crude things at Cane's last night. It's yep, God, please help them repent, help them actually be wise, because wisdom is attractive. When a woman knows things and has insight into things, it draws you to her. And that's what God's woman is. She has insight, she has wise sayings that if applied will bless you, make you rich, give you peace, and give you understanding of the Holy One, God of heaven. For she sitteth at the door of her house on a seat in the high places of the city, to call to passengers who go right on their ways. Whoso is simple, let him turn in hither. And as for him that wanteth understanding, she saith to him, stolen waters are sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. So this is contrast. The first part of this chapter is wisdom has built her house. She's wise, she's cooking, she's doing good things. She's inviting people in to be smart. The foolish woman is doing the same thing at the corner of the streets in her house, and basically it's just for for sexual favors and stupidity. And there's plenty of that in this book too. The Vikings were a very crude bunch. Some of them were noble, but many of them, they had sex with whoever they encountered, wherever they were at, just for the pleasure of it. And it's not something that I shy away of in my ancestors' past. There's some really weird things in this book, and if we get into it, I'll share my thoughts and my perspective on it. Yeah, you don't want a foolish woman. You want a wise woman. The Vikings also had wives too, and some were chaste and very pure, and they were highly valued, greatly treasured by the kings and the thanes. Whoso is simple, let him turn in hither, and as for him that wanteth understanding, she saith to him, stolen waters are sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. But he knoweth not that the dead are there, and that her guests are in the depths of hell. So, she's giving bad advice. The foolish woman gives bad advice that leads to everlasting punishment. The wise woman gives good advice that will lead to everlasting paradise and pleasure and righteousness. That's Proverbs Chapter 9, and thank you very much for listening. I hope you glean some wisdom, and I hope you find that wise woman, just like I hope I find mine. But all in the Lord's word, all in the Lord's timing and destiny. Be patient, my friends. Seek wisdom and obey wisdom. Leads to a life of blessing. Thank you. See you for hopefully the next one.